We marveled at our own magnificence as we gave birth to AI. Artificial intelligence.
AI is taking my job. I saw something online yesterday that absolutely horrified me, and I thought I would come share it with you guys so you could be equally horrified as well. AI influencers. When it first came out, I think a lot of us laughed. Like, you can look at it and you're like, dude, this is some of the most horrifying thing you've ever seen. Like Will Smith eating spaghetti. AI puppies running around and they have like 6 legs. It's not gonna overtake civilization.
Would you like to destroy humanity one day?
What? No.
There's no way it's gonna take over people's jobs. Like, it's so terrible that there's no way. And then you see what I saw yesterday, and that is nearly indistinguishable to the human eye as AI. I find myself to be somebody that is relatively okay at being able to spot it when I see it. And this time I was not. And that's why I wanted to talk about it, because if you don't know that what you're watching is fake, you are going to start thinking that everything is real. Even I could be fake right now. I'm not, but how are we going to know that in the future? And I don't actually have the answer to this. The crazy thing is you might look at these videos and be like, well, I can kind of tell their mouths are a little bit off and a product disappears in her hand. So it's like obvious that it's AI still. This is the worst it will ever be. That's crazy to me. If this is how advanced it is right now, to where it is nearly perfect, and you will not know, and an influencer could come on, be captivating, be beautiful, be hilarious, have all the good information, have all the best skills in the world, and you aren't even aware they're not even a human being. If AI gets out of control and starts doing sponsorships, which I think it already is doing, you're being sold to by an AI bot for something they've never even tried. There is no physical product for them to try because they don't have hands or a face to try it on. So I am a real person, and I actually have tried it, and I can tell you with certainty that I love today's sponsor, which is Hungry Root. That was a good segue. If you've never heard of Hungry Root, they are one of the easiest ways to eat healthy. They're like your personal shopper and nutritionist all packed into one. They take care of the weekly meal planning and grocery shopping by recommending healthy groceries and delicious recipes tailored to your tastes, nutrition preferences, and your health goals. Finding healthy snacks for my family, not having to stress about grocery shopping, specific meals, being able to customize completely, putting in my food preferences. That's what I really love about Hungry Root. It is so painfully simple to go through the entire process of customizing whatever you want. You can shop, you can choose specific meals. If there's an ingredient in the meal that you don't need, like say you already have a bunch of eggs, but it was coming with a box of egg whites, you can remove that and then it'll recredit your account with those credits. You can choose something else. They have a ton of different snacks, meals, they have kids foods, they have anti-inflammatory, gut-friendly, gluten-free, dairy-free, high protein. They have so many different options that you can choose from. All of Hungry Root's meals can be made in 15 minutes or less, and I can attest to this. They are fast. They have great options for the whole family. They have pre-made meals, they have smoothies, they even have supplements. So if you're looking for some supplements to take, they have all of that as well. There's no high fructose corn syrup, no artificial sweeteners or preservatives in any of Hungry Root's foods. For a limited time, you guys can get 40% off of your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. You can just click the link below or go to hungryroot.com and use code RawBeautyKristi. That's 40% off of your first box and a free item of your choice for life at hungryroot.com with code RawBeautyKristi. And I thank you so much to Hungry Root for sponsoring today's video, for continuing to work with human beings. Please continue to only work with human beings. So there's a lot of things that can happen because of AI. Like obviously we all know Terminator, The Matrix. But what about like the real life things that we today have to worry about? Well, I obviously have to worry about my job getting taken by fake AI influencer. Here's what's gonna likely happen. I saw a comment, I'll read it. And this is from You Got Daved. Eventually this app will just be AI bots advertising things to each other while humans collect the money. Then, when no one makes any purchases, the companies will slow down and stop all ad spends on social media because there's not a clear metric showing if and how they reach a human. So physical ads like billboards will probably be popular again. And while I think it's ultimately a good thing if human beings get off of the internet and into public some more, do you see that actually happening? Or do you see us just slowly becoming consumed by AI and having no fucking idea what's real and what's fake? And that is where I think we're at right now. I literally have people sending me AI videos all the time. Family members sending me AI, people showing me AI pictures, people showing me AI recipes, and people cannot tell. And these are the shittiest images ever. Like ones that I immediately am like, oh my God, dude, that's so obviously AI. This influencer thing is scary. And it's scary because you could be being sold a product by somebody who's, number one, never tried it because they're not human, but that you think they're real. The crazy beauty standards that you can be subjected to being created out of thin air of a fake online model. These are fake influencers. They're not real people. So they have perfect bodies, perfect boobs, perfect face, perfect nose, perfect symmetry, perfect hair. Crazy, because that's what AI is. It's not original, it's not creative. By 2030, tasks that account for up to 30% of hours currently being worked in the United States economy could be automated. And while AI is estimated to create 97 million new jobs by 2025, many employees won't have the skills needed for those technical roles and could get left behind if companies don't upscale their workforces. Let's talk about jobs created by AI, because according to this 60 Minutes episode, it's essentially slave labor.
So Naftali, father of two, college educated with a degree in mathematics, was elated to finally find work in an emerging field, artificial intelligence.
You were labeling.
I did labeling for videos and images.
Naftali and digital workers like him spend 8 hours a day in front of a screen studying photos and videos, drawing boxes around objects and labeling them, teaching the AI algorithms to recognize them.
This is just the beginning of the horrors that I can only begin to imagine in my worst nightmares.
Honestly, it's like modern day slavery because it's cheap labor.
Whoa.
It's cheap labor.
Like modern-day slavery, says Narima Wakal-Ojiwa, a Kenyan civil rights activist, because big American tech companies come here and advertise the jobs as a ticket to the future. But really, she says, it's exploitation.
Yes.
We're talking about the richest companies on earth.
Yes, but then they are paying people peanuts.
AI jobs don't pay much?
They don't pay well. They do not pay Africans well enough.
So it's not because you realize Kenya is a third world country, you say, this job I would normally pay $30 in US, but because you are Kenya, $2 is enough for you. That idea has to end.
The things that these people are saying also about being forced to watch videos that are horrifically graphic in nature, like life-ruining things, to be able to categorize them for AI, that is one of the most abhorrent, horrific things I've ever heard in my entire life.
Naftali was assigned to train AI to recognize and weed out pornography, hate speech, and excessive violence, which meant sifting through the worst of the worst content online for hours on end.
I looked at people being slaughtered, people engaging in sexual activity with animals, people abusing children physically, sexually, people committing suicide.
All day long?
Yes, all day long. 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week.
The workers told us they were tricked into this work by ads like this.
I was told I was going to do a translation job.
Exactly what was the job you were doing?
I was basically reviewing contents which are very graphic, very disturbing contents. I was watching dismembered bodies or drone attack victims.
Are any of you a different person than they were before you had this job?
Yeah, I find it hard now to even have conversations with people. It's just that I find it easy to cry than to speak.
You continue isolating yourself from people. You don't want to socialize with others. It's you and it's you alone.
Are you a different person?
Yeah, a different person.
And this is just one country in the entire world that's doing this. So you gotta know, this is happening all over the place, and it's probably way worse than any of us could even imagine.
You find these humans in the loop, not only here in Kenya, but in other countries thousands of miles from Silicon Valley, in India, the Philippines, Venezuela. Often countries with large, low-wage populations, well-educated but unemployed. These three and nearly 200 other digital workers are suing Sama and Meta over unreasonable working conditions that caused psychiatric problems.
It was proven by a psychiatrist that we are thoroughly sick. We have gone through a psychiatric evaluation just a few months ago, and it was proven that we are all sick, thoroughly sick.
They know that we're damaged, but they don't care. We're humans. Just because we're black or just because we're just vulnerable for now, that doesn't give them the right to just exploit us like this.
Now, if that isn't one of the most dystopian and horrifying things that I've ever seen, I don't know what is. Horrifying to me. Social manipulation also stands as a danger of AI. This fear has become a reality as politicians rely on platforms to promote their viewpoints. Online media and news have become even murkier in the light of AI-generated images and videos. AI voice changers, as well as deepfakes, infiltrating political and social spheres. These technologies make it easy to create realistic photos, videos, audio clips, or replace the image of one figure with another in an existing picture and video. As a result, bad actors have another avenue for sharing misinformation and propaganda, creating a nightmare scenario when it can be nearly impossible to distinguish between credible and faulty news. We won't even know what we can believe with our own eyes. Cannot rely on what historically we've considered to be the best possible evidence, and that's going to be a huge issue. And I think that a lot of us, because it is a slow burn, are not even going to either recognize it nor care. Along with technologists, journalists, and political figures, even religious leaders are sounding the alarm on AI's potential pitfall. Pope Francis warned against AI's ability to be misused and create statements that at first glance appear plausible but are unfounded or betray biases. The rapid rise in generative AI tools gives these concerns more substance. Many users have applied the technology to get out of writing assignments, threatening academic integrity and creativity. Literally, your doctors could be using this. And then they're like, let me cut you open. This is the technology that's available for us. This is the technology that's out for the public. Could you even imagine what it is available to the United States military, available to the government? If this is what they're letting us look at, as is too often the case, technological advancements have been harnessed for warfare. When it comes to AI, some are keen to do something about it before it's too late. In a 2016 open letter, over 30,000 individuals, including AI and robotics researchers, pushed back against the investment in AI-fueled autonomous weapons. The key question for humanity today is whether to start a global AI arms race or prevent it from starting. Hey, can we please prevent it? It's too late. They already are using it. Drones literally blowing people up. If any major military power pushes ahead with AI weapons development, a global arms race is virtually inevitable. And the endpoint of this technological trajectory is obvious. Autonomous weapons will become Kalashnikovs of tomorrow. This prediction has come to fruition in the forms of lethal autonomous weapon systems which locate and destroy targets on their own while abiding by few regulations. This is so awful. When you think about what we're doing, we're literally all human beings living on this earth just trying to survive and trying to do good, feed our families, take care of everybody, and then meanwhile there's a bunch of politicians creating AI and using autonomous weapons to blow people up for gain of power, money. I don't get it. I could never begin to understand it. Because of the proliferation of potent and complex weapons, some of the world's most powerful nations have given into anxieties and contributed to a tech cold war. Many of these new weapons pose major risk to civilians on the ground, but the danger becomes amplified when autonomous weapons fall into the wrong hands. Are there right hands? Are there right hands for autonomous weapons to fall into? Some fear that no matter how many powerful figures point out the dangers of AI, we're gonna keep pushing the envelope with it if there is money to be made. Such is life, isn't it?
I think it's probably end of next year before AI can do better than any individual human could do.
The mentality is if we can do it, we should try it. Let's see what happens, Messina said. And if we can make money off it, we'll do a whole bunch of it. But that's not unique to technology, and it's been happening forever. An over-reliance on AI technology could result in the loss of human influence and a lack in human functioning in some parts of society. Using AI in healthcare could result in reduced human empathy and reasoning, for instance. And applying generative AI for creative endeavors could diminish human creativity and emotional expression. This is so horrifying. We are literally here to do this. We are supposed to help one another, and we are supposed to be creative. If we just what are we gonna sit around and look at it on these little boxes? Is that what life is gonna be about? Is just this thing? Interacting with AI systems too much could even cause reduced peer communication and social skills. So while AI can be very helpful for automating daily tasks, some question if it might hold back overall human intelligence, abilities, and need for community. Do you question it? Or is it very obviously going to happen? Absolutely it's going to happen. It's already happening. People are chronically lonely because of this. We think we're getting community through this, through social media, because it has the word social in it. You think you're getting socialization by being on it, but it's not real. It doesn't work like that. You need to be around actual human beings. And I wonder sometimes if the rise of AI online and the disinformation and the mistrust of what we see online is going to push us further into actual communication with real life people. And like that person said, because there's going to be AI influencers selling products to bots who aren't actually buying anything, the whole dead internet theory, is that going to push people further from the internet in general? Or will we be so apathetic towards it because of the slow burn and rise of AI and the rise in social media and the dead insideness of all of us that we're just going to give into it and sit on our phones all day long and then just degrade as a society, and AI will take over and we'll just be a bunch of lumps and it'll look like the movie WALL-E. The dead internet theory is a belief that the vast majority of the internet traffic, posts, and users have been replaced by bots and AI generated content, and that people no longer shape the direction of the internet. I mean, Are they wrong? Suggests that AI has successfully drowned out the majority of online human activity, reshaping the internet into a more controlled, algorithmic form that exists only to sell products and ideas. This post was written, though, back in 2021, before the commercial release of ChatGPT and before AI became such a hot topic, although it was always a subject of speculation and discussion. The rapid accumulation of AI-generated garbage was predicted by critics the moment the technology was introduced, and those predictions are slowly coming to fruition. Like the great plastic garbage patch that floats on the surface of the ocean, the AI-generated slop is starting to rise to the top. It's Forbes, by the way. After everything that I've showed in this video, what is the conclusion? I wish I could say that I had a conclusion, you guys. I don't think I do. I think the answer is that we, as a group of people, need to do more true and real things. It's not okay that in Kenya, they're being exploited, paid $1 per hour to be training AI, watching horrific things that are life-changing and ruining their lives, to where they're literally sitting down with a journalist being like, my life is ruined because of this. And we watch that and we're like, oh, it's fucked up. So ChatGPT, no! We have to stop. We have to stop using AI. We have to stop fueling it. And the problem is that I'm screaming to the void right now, because maybe as you watch this, you're like, man, that's really scary. And then later when you want to see what you look like as an AI Pixar character, you're gonna be like, well, but that's just once. We have to stop. This doesn't even cover the disastrous impacts that AI has on the environment. And I know there's like an apathy that comes with all of this stuff, right? Because it's like, okay, this is just AI. We've got to worry about how to feed my family, how much I have to work this week, how am I going to pay for my bills, how am I going to pay for groceries. This is just yet one more thing I have to think about. But what we can do, if we can try, is things that are true and real. So being with our friends and family in person. I can be able to fake that. Hopefully at least let out for another 100 years. And that's the thing. Algorithmically, we're all seeing things that are sort of echo chambery for each one of us, because that's how algorithms work. It's like, oh, this is what you like, let me show more of that to you. And so it leads you to wonder, are my thoughts even my own thoughts? Because if I'm thinking what they are showing me only, and I'm being fed an echo chamber of information, are these even my own thoughts? If you're always looking up stuff about UFOs or drones, you're gonna get more of that. Are we all just living in an echo chamber of information and we don't actually have any of our own thoughts, because all the thoughts that we have are being fed to us from algorithms and AI, machine learning? I mean, and ultimately I think that is true. And I feel like whereas things used to go viral and everybody knew about them, you know, damn Daniel would get you on Ellen, there's nothing like that anymore. We're all dead inside. Nobody gives a shit about your white sneakers. Nobody gives a shit if you can do a smoky eye. When everything is cool, nothing is. And I feel like that's kind of where we've all gotten. What do? I think we gotta get the fuck off the internet. I really do believe we have to get off the internet. We have to. And this is from somebody that makes my living off of this. But I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to. If AI starts making influencers and stealing people's jobs, like it's already done, this job is but one of those. Because if online advertising is the key, you make a fake influencer who's funny and witty and smart and beautiful, she'll be doing the sponsorship next, won't she? How do you feel this is going to affect people? I just think literally having people not be able to tell what is real and what is not, like what is the point of being online if it's not real? If it's not real, then it's not good. It's not tangible. It's not something that I care about. I don't care about seeing a fake waterfall in a fake beautiful land. It's basically like I'm dreaming at that point. If this is the stuff they give to us, what do they have? We've all seen them. We've seen the robot dogs, but now they have the robots that can backflip. That's what they show the public, you know? What they have is far scarier, I'm sure. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video and that it didn't make you feel existential dread like it did me. I'm gonna go drink a sparkle water and do art, real art. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you at my next video. Bye.